Everything we do in this life, we do for a reason. The problem is oftentimes we're not aware of why we're doing the things that we're doing. Today we're going to talk about how I can know why I do what I do. If you've watched any of our other videos, you know that principle-based living is all about laws or principles that govern this world in which we live. You also know that everything we do for a reason. But oftentimes we're unaware of what those reasons are. And that's because we've been conditioned throughout our life to respond in ways that seem to give us what we want. And there's two parts of our brain. There's the conscious and there's the subconscious. So about 90% of the time, it's the subconscious part of our brain that's driving what we do, which means, and the subconscious is the part that we're not aware of. That's when we're on autopilot. So think about that and learning. If we're not really aware, but we are doing things. So we're in a certain state or a certain way of being and we don't like where we're at. So we do something that gives us an outcome that we want. Or we're learning new skills and abilities, but we're on autopilot when we're doing it. We're not really aware of what we are doing and why we are doing it. So it's no wonder that so many of our behaviors, it just seems like we don't really know why we're doing it. We just think that we're doing it because that's the way it is. Everything in life. Think about this, why are you going to the job that you go to? Why are you doing the work that you're doing? Why is your life the way that it is? Does it have to be that way? Or is your life that way because you have a belief that says, well, this is just the way that life is? Well, could it be totally and completely different than what it is? For sure, it could be. But in order for that to happen, you first need to realize that it's your beliefs that are driving your behavior. It's not reality. It's your beliefs about the world in which you live. And so you have the control and the ability to change that at any time if you're willing to get in touch with your thoughts and beliefs. So quickly, if you watch some of the other videos, you recognize these boxes, but these are our thoughts, and our thoughts create our beliefs drive our behaviors, and our behaviors create our outcomes. Now, if we don't like our outcomes, then obviously what needs to change, and if you just look at this, would say, okay, well, our behaviors need to change because our behaviors are creating our outcomes, but we're behaving in accordance with our beliefs and our thoughts. Now here's the problem. Let's say I make a decision that I'm going to change my behavior. Well, all of us have a very short attention span. Our attention span is only about 7 seconds, which means, let's say you make a decision that you want to change a behavior in your life. And maybe you've experienced that. Maybe you said, okay, I'm going to, maybe I've got a problem with swearing, or I've got a language problem that I want to change. And I say, okay, starting today, I'm not going to use this word anymore. And I make that decision. I'm serious about wanting to make that change. But how long am I going to remember that I'm going to change my behavior today? Only about 7 seconds. So about as long as it takes for me to leave the house and to get into my car, and now the radio's on, or I'm listening to a tape or a CD, or I'm thinking about where I'm going, and I have no thought at all about the decision that I made to change that language. So I'm driving along the road, and so let's say it is swearing. I'm driving along the road, and I'm on autopilot, and somebody cuts me off and scares me, so I'm triggered, and in response to that trigger, I say a word that I had said that I wasn't going to say anymore. But it's because the circumstance or the situation triggered me because I was on autopilot. I had forgot that I was consciously going to change that. And so I repeat that behavior. It's a challenge to change behaviors because we have to go back and we have to identify, well, what are the thoughts and the beliefs that created this behavior to begin with. And when we want to change a behavior, we need to get off of autopilot long enough to consciously make those changes. So today I'm going to give you 2 techniques that you can use that will help you become more aware and to pay attention to what you're doing and why you're doing it. The first one is just to be aware of what you're doing and make a conscious decision to do it differently. So, for example, brushing your teeth in the morning. If you usually start on the left side of your mouth, start on the right side. If you usually start with brushing your teeth, your top teeth, and then the bottom, switch it around. When you get dressed in the morning, if you typically put the right leg in your pants first, then put your left one in first. If putting your shirt on, you put the left arm in, then put your right arm in. If you're sitting and your arms are folded, and this is the way you do it, then change it up and do something different. But try to be aware of everything that you're doing throughout the day and do it differently than you normally would. So just as a way to stay off of autopilot and to be more aware. And if you're consciously trying to do those things throughout the day, it will help you be more aware of identifying your thoughts and beliefs that are driving your behavior and creating your emotion that you're experiencing throughout the day. So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is just make a decision that you're going to check in with yourself every hour throughout the day. And so, okay, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I'm going to check in with myself when I wake up. And I'm going to say, okay, what's going on around me right now? What are my thoughts and beliefs about what's happening? What are my thoughts and beliefs about the day? What am I feeling? So what's my emotion? And then become aware of, okay, are my thoughts and beliefs, are they serving me? Are they based on truth, or are they just based on things that I've learned, throughout my life? If so, become aware of that and be willing to let go of those beliefs that you don't know for sure are correct or true and replace them with thoughts and beliefs that are. And so the goal is every hour throughout the day just to check in. And the check-in looks like this. So you look at what's happening around you. You name what you're feeling. So, I'm feeling content, or I'm feeling a little anxious right now. I may be feeling sad. I may be feeling bored, but you put a name to it. So again, I'm moving off of autopilot into awareness. So I'm feeling bored. And then I look at, okay, well, what are my thoughts and beliefs about the events or about what's happening in my life? And then ask myself, are my thoughts and beliefs true? Are they correct? Are they helping me? If not, then again, I can let those false beliefs go. I can replace them with true, healthy beliefs that will change my state of being. And again, doing this throughout the day. So if the goal is to do it every day, then again, that's just another opportunity to be aware, to check in and pay attention to the changes that you want to make in your life, and ask yourself, okay, am I doing that? Am I being aware, or am I just on autopilot throughout the day? Because many times when we make a decision to make a change, we can go throughout the whole day, and then at the end of the day we go, oh, I forgot I was going to work on that today. By using these 2 techniques, one of just changing up everything that you do, the other checking in every hour, it will help you to become more aware of what you do, why you do it, and then make sure that the things that you're doing are in alignment with truth and principle. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have questions or comments, make sure you comment below. Visit our website if you'd like to know more of who we are and what we do. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, be sure and follow me here.